Tim, at the 8-minute mark and you left in the first half, you guys were down 18-15, hadn't made a three-pointer, and we're trailing the rebound margin by 6. What changed?
Well, we weren't playing very good, as you know. It really, I'm not sure what we were doing very well at first, but I felt like we were not going to play very well for, what'd you say, about 8 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Well, 12 minutes and 8 minutes.
12, okay, so I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I always worry when you're off a long time. You know, we haven't played a game in 10 days. We were off 5 days. We gave 5 days off, 5 days back practicing, and that's usually, you're just not in that game, you know. We did a lot of good things actually offensively. We just missed, and we're just a half a count off. We had a chance to get 3 or 4 more easy baskets early, and they weren't going our way. We were a little sluggish defensively. We weren't chasing balls. We weren't in game mode. And I guess what I would say, in my opinion, what changed is we got the rust off. And from the rest of that point on, I thought we played outstanding. I thought the second half, couldn't hope for a better first 10 minutes of the second half, and from both ends of the court. And so that I really feel that's what it was. It's just a long time since we've been in a game, and I think that showed. We played at Georgetown, having not played for a while. In the first 7 minutes, we were same kind of feeling. You know, you just not in that game rhythm, and then Nat caught fire in that game, and then all of a sudden everything got going, and we looked like, you know, we were in our rhythm. So I think that's probably what it was.
Is that something you try to convey to your guys beforehand, or is this kind of just?
Well, yeah, but this, it's not because they're not ready. It's just they got to get out there and get moving around and get the game speed again, I guess, you know. So I don't. It's not that. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. Put it that way. And so I wasn't surprised. We even talked about it before on the radio. I thought I doubt we'll come out looking very good for a while because you're rusty. I've seen that. I see that in all levels of basketball, and, you know, big breaks and stuff. But for me, it was, you know, very good game. I love the assists, love our offensive rebounding, love defensive field goal numbers. Just a lot of really good things, and I'm very pleased for an opening night in the conference. Very, very happy about that.
Coach, they mentioned in the broadcast during the game that you guys were trying to find perhaps, you know, an extra year for Jamal's eligibility. Can you comment on that at all? Or
I can't really. I don't think I can. I mean, I think it's just possible. I guess I would say that's possible, but I don't know if it's got any probability or whatever. But if you do look at, you know, his background and numbers of games and all that, and what he went through, you know, without getting into detail about what happened at his previous school, you know, I think it's at least a possibility. I would say that, but I don't know about probability.
Jimmy Witt's had a couple of exceptional games on the stat sheet, not just scoring, but shooting efficiency. Is he playing at a higher level, or are these just two?
No, he's playing at a higher level.
Individual nights that went really well.
No. He is. You know, they played him at the 3 at Arkansas as freshman, and I don't say that meaning they did the wrong thing. I'm just saying that's the position basically he played there, and of course, you know, last year Shake was our point guard until he got hurt. You know, really our primary point guard, and Jimmy was finding his way. But point guard is the hardest position on the floor. I mean, there's a lot of feel, a lot of instinct, a lot of reads, a lot of thought. And he's very bright, don't get very, very basketball bright, and bright, period. But what's happening now is he's learned to play the position. I got a lot of confidence. Never have I had more confidence in him. He's running the floor. He understands our system. He understands why we do things and what the reads are and what he's looking for. He understands his teammates. I just love him right now. I'm really excited. It's always fun as a head coach to have good point guards, I can tell you that. And vice versa, it is no fun to not have a good point guard. And he's right in front of our face. He's turned into a really, really good one.
Offensively, you guys were able to, you know, do very well, but on defense, you held them to 33.9% for the game, 31% in the second half. What was the key to that?
Hopefully effort. We are getting better. That is one of the things we emphasize the most is what you just said is, well, what are the numbers at the end of the game? What are they shooting? if you hold people in the 30s, you're going to win a lot of games. You know, you look up at the end of the year and find the teams that played in the 30s on defense, you're going to find teams that had a pretty darn good year, and we talk about that. We talk about rebounds. So hopefully we're gaining on it. You know, East Carolina, new coach, some young players, they're in transition. Joe Dooley and I are very good friends. We worked together for many years at Kansas, and you know, when you work together side by side, go through, either you become really close friends or you really can't stand each other, one or the other. But it turns out he and I became very, very good friends. I have tons of respect for him. Great hire for them, bad hire for the rest of us, because that program is going to get very, very good. He's a great coach, great recruiter. But you know, they're in a transition mode, so you know, maybe that helped us a little bit from the defensive end. But trust me, over the years, they're going to be a lot tougher to guard.
Defensively, did you do anything special on Gardner?
Well, you know, it's funny. I thought we did great for most of the game. Look at his numbers, are crazy. He's averaging 19 a game. He's shooting 9 free throws a game. Shooting 9 free throws a game, which not only means he's going up there shooting 9 balls that nobody can guard, it also means he's putting your team over here in foul trouble, which we're in foul trouble the whole night. First half, second half, our bigs across the board, and with about 6 minutes to go, I'm looking up, it's like we got a huge lead. We could have fouled the whole team. All of a sudden, we got a bunch of guys with 4 fouls. And I'm thinking, geez, we're going to be about 6'5" and under here in a minute with a guy that draws fouls every other possession. But he ends up with 16, shoots 8 free throws. I got to hand it to him. He's got a knack. But we obviously did double team him. We tried to keep the ball away from him. He's a good sealer. Joe does a fantastic job of getting guys to seal and get them angles. And we were, probably our number one emphasis was no angles. No angles where they get layups over the top, and I'm not sure they got 1 or 2. So we did a good job of that, and we did double him. But in the end, somehow he finds his way to 16 points and 8 free throws, which is crazy.
Yeah, but 11 of them were in the second half after you had the game pretty well wrapped.
And that's, you know, that's right. Our team is, and I hope we have this problem, but in league play you usually don't. But so many positives tonight. But you know, we've had a number of big leads lately. We're a little sloppy still when we get a big lead. And those can turn on you. You know, guys, a lot of college players think when you get a big lead, game's over. Game's not over in college basketball. You've seen some crazy, with a 3-point line and shot clock, hey, 20 points can be erased, 10 points can be erased in about 2 minutes. All of a sudden you look up, you thought you're up 20, it's 10, and the momentum's on the other side. And you know, we did get a little complacent, I thought, defensively. But I don't want to be critical. I just know that when you become a great team, you only know one way to play, no matter a score, and time, or whatever. And so we're still trying to find our way to that.
Obviously 7 of 8. You know, how you feeling about your guys right now?
Well, really good. We're getting a lot better. I mean, you can't help but see lately we're a lot better. But again, I know I'm a broken record, but there is a reason we couldn't practice. You know, we really couldn't practice in October. And the team that took the floor in November at those early games, I've coached a long time, and I have normally felt really prepared when the first game came, and watching our teams play in those first 3 or 4 games, all the other years that I can ever remember, felt pretty good, pretty confident. And this year's team, in the first 3 or 4 or 5 whatever games, I just would watch and go, we're so far behind. And it's not their fault. It's just you have to have quality practice over time. And when you go 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 every day, you're not getting ready to play major college basketball. I don't care. Now we're playing 5-on-5, and we have gained a lot. But the bad news is other really good teams, they're not staying the same either. They started ahead of us. They did. And we're trying to catch them, but it's hard to catch because they're getting better. They're not staying the same. So we are much better, and we've got a chance to be an outstanding team, I think, before the season's over, if we keep improving, if we stay hungry, if everybody will buy into believing the things that we really believe in here and that make you a championship level program. But, you know, that's a process. That's definitely a process.
When Jere Foster returned to the lineup, you pointed out that he's not going to immediately be what he was before his injury. He's been back several games now. What do you think of his progress and development and his effort to get back toward what he once was?
Well, his effort is amazing. He's worked so hard for 10 months. I watched a guy, and think about the emotional side. It's his second ACL, and he's coming off a year where we had a chance to be great last year, and he knew it. We were in perfect position. Shake and he are healthy, and we're right where we need to be, and all the bottom falls out. His season's over, and he knows he's looking at a 10, 11 month uphill mountain that he's already been through. He's been through it before. And emotionally, think about that mountain to climb. He was also a guy that was, projected as a possible NBA. There's so many emotional things to drop, and then to have the strength to rise again. And I watched a guy month after month, week after week, just killing himself to get back. So I'm so proud of him. And I can't say enough that, he's not yet where he was. He had a real good week of practice, best week of practice he's had. He's really gained on it. So I think he's, continuing to step. But the beauty is, even when he's just part of who he really is, he helps. We're a better team because you can see that. It's another reason you ask about, we're better. Well, we didn't have him before, come on. We've spent a lot of time around here without some of our best players, and without him for 11 months, and just his presence, we are a better team with him on our court. I don't care how many scores or whatever, he makes us better. And there'll be a day when he starts feeling great, psychologically feel great. How many? He had a few dunks tonight, didn't go in, right? He's not quite as explosive, right? He had a chance. What do you have? 2 or 3 dunks, right? That you guys have seen him before. He's one of the most explosive athletes out there. Maybe it's not all the way back there, but it's coming, and I think it'll be here. I think it'll be here soon. So I'm so proud of him. What he's been through. Whew, I can't imagine psychologically, emotionally, what it's been.
He had a play late, I think it was late in the first half, where he dove for a loose ball, and one of the ECU guys kind of landed on top of him. Did you sort of hold your breath when that?
No, because that's not
hit
to
the
me
deck?
how you hurt your knee. No.
Right, but
No, he's
you
so
get tangled up and.
No, I don't on that. I know. Honestly, no. In fact, when guys dive on the floor, I tell our guys, if you want to make sure not get hurt, dive on the floor. The guys that get hurt are the ones reaching over to grab a ball. That's how you get hurt. Diving on the floor, I rarely see, unless heads bump or whatever. But if you want to be safe, dive under the desk. So, and it's the same on a basketball court. Get on the floor, first to the floor. He does all those things. He takes charges. He'll be the first one to take a charge. He's already blocking shots. He's one of those crazy. He doesn't look that tall, and he just out of nowhere. I think he got a goaltend, but he blocks something else. He just does so many darn different things. But if you look at our team, it's coming. It's coming. Jimmy's playing the point really great. Jamal is now being able to move over and play point. And Jimmy's out and doing a great job of that. Jamal's always been a scorer. You got Jere, Isaiah's come so far, Ethan, Ferran, rebound. Nat was great tonight. So, we're coming. We're coming. But I see a team that could be here. We're about right here, right now, in my eyes.
What does it mean having the Fight for Literacy game day?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. It's great, and I read some stuff about it. It's coaches versus literacy. It's not that I don't like the tie. It's not one I would necessarily pick out, the lime green, but of course it's for coaches versus literacy. And the Wilfongs, Jonathan and now Luke, really have spearheaded this and originally basically brought it to us. Now lots and lots of schools across the country are doing it and bringing awareness to, an important problem. And I read some statistics. 64% of 4th graders in our country can't read at the 4th grade level. Think about that. 64% of the kids in grade school can't read at their own grade level. 85% of criminal juveniles are illiterate. Think about that. And I think illiteracy costs, if I remember reading the statistics right, over $200 billion cost our economy. So depending how you want to look at it, there's all different ways to look at it for the problem. If you just care about kids, that's a way to look at it. If you care about crime, if you care about the economy, whatever you care about, there's a lot in there, and I'm proud of Jonathan and Luke, and we're proud to support it. So thank you for bringing that up.
When Jonathan was here, you rolled through a couple of opponents by wide margins when you were in the green tie, and you made a comment about maybe I should keep wearing these things.
Yeah,
You gonna bring it back?
Well, I love the purpose of the tie. Okay, I love the purpose of the tie, but having a little bit of vanity, I'm not sure it's the color, so it's a hard one. So I don't know. It's going to be we're going to have to discuss that, because we rode it for a while, didn't we?
Yeah.
We rode the green tie. Gosh, I wish it would have been like navy or red, but then it wouldn't have stood out. So it's going to be a tough decision. There's a lot of really tough decisions when you coach, and this is going to be one of those really, really hard ones. Really hard decisions.